This is the AI News Flash for August 5th, midnight UTC. First up, SpaceX has reported its first quarterly earnings as a public company. Revenue rose 92% year over year to $7.81 billion, beating expectations across every segment. By segment, the AI business, which includes XAI, the X platform and cloud services, surged 247% to $2.56 billion. The connectivity segment, including Starlink, grew 66% to $4.3 billion, with subscribers doubling in a year to 12 million, while the space segment rose 29% to $962 million. The net loss narrowed to $541 million from about $1 billion a year earlier. Capital expenditures, however, jumped more than sixfold to $18.37 billion, with $15.83 billion of that going to AI infrastructure. Investors balked at the scale of AI spending, sending the stock down as much as 8% in after-hours trading. The $60 billion acquisition of Cursor is expected to close this quarter. Next, the White House has finalized its voluntary framework for government review of advanced AI models. It was presented on August 4th at a staff-level meeting with about a dozen companies, including OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, Meta, NVIDIA, and Microsoft. The framework stems from a June 2nd executive order. It asks companies to submit frontier models of national security significance to the government up to 30 days before public release. Notably, open-weight models are exempt from the review, focusing scrutiny on closed frontier models from the leading U.S. labs. At the same time, the framework's text, evaluation benchmarks, and model thresholds are classified, with no plans for public release, drawing criticism over transparency. Third, the U.S. Justice Department has reached a $3.2 million settlement with OpenAI over alleged hiring discrimination against American workers. The department said OpenAI favored holders of temporary work visas over U.S. workers, in violation of the Immigration and Nationality Act. The company allegedly required paper applications and advertised roles on late-night radio, effectively discouraging U.S. applicants. The settlement includes $1.2 million in civil penalties and a $2 million back pay fund for affected workers. OpenAI must also post jobs on its public website, accept electronic applications, and provide anti-discrimination training. It follows similar visa discrimination settlements with Meta in 2021 and Apple in 2023, showing regulators are now scrutinizing hiring practices at major AI companies as well. Fourth, Apple has introduced a cap on submissions and a 30-day cooling-off period for its bug bounty program, according to the Financial Times. The move responds to an overwhelming flood of AI-generated vulnerability reports, which strained review teams and drowned out discoveries from human security researchers. Researchers who want to exceed the cap must now request special approval. Google restructured its own rewards program earlier this year, paying more for complex issues and less for the routine bugs AI systems commonly churn out, making low-quality AI submissions a shared challenge across major platforms. Finally, AI coding company Cursor has open-sourced Mixture-of-Kittens, or MUC, a piece of software for large-scale model training. MOC is a deterministic training megakernel that fuses all the communication and computation steps of mixture-of-experts models into a single kernel. It targets NVIDIA's Blackwell generation, specifically GB200 and GB300, NVL72 racks, with 72 GPUs in one NVLink domain. On performance, it cuts signaling overhead from 103 microseconds down to 18, and in end-to-end training across 512 GPUs, it lifted throughput 1.41 times from about 760 to 1070 tokens per second per GPU. Released under Apache 2.0, it is aimed at frontier labs and GPU cloud providers with large infrastructure, with Cursor's $60 billion acquisition by SpaceX set to close. The release offers a rare look at its research work. That's all for this AI News Flash.